What's up, guys? I'm back again with another video. And today on the workbench, what do we got today? This is a different one. Oh yes, you know it, you love it. Yes, it is our old friend, the GameCube. And customer was inquiring a couple days ago just to ask if I could, it's a little messed up, if I could do a recap on this thing because the drive's not working. So he has included some games and a couple things. I don't have the capacitors here yet, but I am going to do a two-part video on this guy. I've never actually taken this apart and done the recap on a GameCube. I've done other consoles that are very similar, or drives, I should say, optical drives, where you do certain things to them to get them to run again. So I have been kind of doing that since the PS1. So yeah, anyways, let's have a look here. So I was gonna start the video and then I had to kind of stop because I was like, oh right, it needs a special screwdriver, and apparently I bought these back in 2024, but I didn't realize I had bought them. Amazon remembered, thank goodness. So I started kind of looking around, and sure enough, there they were in my really nice organizer just off to the left of me that you can't see, just sitting there. And yes, I do indeed have the right driver to take it apart. So let's get into it here. I know we don't have to dig very deep into this. I did do a bit of a check on the procedure on how to do this. It's pretty common on these guys. So I kind of know what we're getting into. So we're going to start with these 4 bolts on the bottom, which are indeed the special game bit, I think they call it. It's like, let's see if I can get it to, yeah, I can kind of see it there. It's kind of like an inverted Torx is how I would rate that guy. They're kind of like yeah, that's exactly what they are. They're an inverted Torx. They're just like my Jeep transmission when you try and pull it off. There is all regular bolts except for one, and it's not this one, but it's one like this. And if you don't have it, you can't take your transmission apart, and you have to go buy it. So must have taken their cues from Nintendo back in the day. Okay, so that's going to release our top cover, which is going to kind of get us down access into the board here. We can get a good look at the laser. We do have some dust on this thing, so I mean, I'm going to do the recap anyway, but it definitely can use a bit of a dusting because I can visibly see it. So these consoles weren't exactly great at, well, yeah, honestly, no console's really that great at keeping the dust out of it. They don't really build them so that they, you know, don't take inherent problems from the environment. But anyways, rambling. Let's get a Phillips screwdriver. I'm just gonna move that out of the way for now. Pretty sure the fan's got to come out here. And well, that's not the fan. That looks like the power cord. That's okay. This is the fan here. Pull that up and out of the way. Okay, and we'll get these 2 Phillips to the side here. Put them by our game bit screwdriver. Goodness. I don't know why they do things silly like that. Somebody's always going to produce the screwdriver. You'll always be able to buy it. Yeah, sure, maybe the average Joe won't be able to get his hands on it, but more than likely somebody's going to figure it out and make a driver. So probably are already being cloned by the time these things even come out. So yeah, just why not just use all regular Phillips? Why not? Why do you gotta use weird stuff? Alright, so here's our board. Now, apparently what happens is these guys, all these caps, these all go. Okay, here, let's get my big boy toy out here. And let's switch over. Alright, there she is. Okay, so now we can get a good look at it. As you can see, I am really manipulating this around, and the cool thing about my new microscope is it's a lot like my overhead. It has an auto focus feature built into it. This is not the ones that you guys have probably seen out there, which is like the all-in-one scopes. I actually replaced my all-in-one with this one. This is actually a monocular 180 times lens with a 4K autofocus Sony sensor on it, and it's pretty impressive what it can do. Because basically right now I have about say 6 inches. Now, the cool thing about this whole thing is like most people would be stuck at this fixed point and they have to put their stand up and down or move it closer, and then they would use their focusing knob to focus the image depending on where it's sitting. So I'm about 6 inches right now. Before I came down, I was a good foot and a half. That's when I'll go back up there so you guys can see. So like this is a good, oh gosh, no, it's more than it's close to 2 feet. I'll get measuring tape on this thing, but this is like 2 feet away from my bench. So I can get a nice wide angle of the board, which is a little bit more zoomed in than my overhead will do. So it works out well. But if I bring it down to like what we would consider kind of regular work height, I've got this. Now, basically what I've got now is I've got double zoom. So if I adjust my focus like people would for adjusting for where they set the height of their microscope, mine actually starts to zoom because I've got that entire focal length of the camera. So if I go slow, looks like that's where I max out at that height. Okay, so I'm using the 0.3 Barlow lens right now, which a lot of people use on their scopes regularly. And you can see my range, like I can get right in. Now the cool thing about this is I can also tilt the board, right? And it'll focus and it'll show me all sorts of cool things. So if I really want to do a good inspection, I can literally focus on everything on that board. Give it a second, find its focal point and it'll focus. Okay, you can see I can look at the joints. You know, it's very, very, very cool. Now sometimes that autofocus, it doesn't look good. What's going on there? Sometimes that autofocus you don't want it running because it'll move when you're trying to solder something underneath that thing. But here, yeah, there we go. Oh, it's just a really bad solder joint. Look at that. That's right from the factory. I would say that did not fully flow on that cap. Anyways, we're not here for that. We're here for the other stuff. So let's just back up my focus here again because we don't gotta really be that close right now. So yeah, basically what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set up to take off all these caps now that I've got a good wide angle shot of where everything is. So I don't have them yet, and once they show up, I'll do that job. So yeah, we're gonna get rocking on that. Now one cool, okay, so you guys go, okay, yeah, you just told us, you know, you have to have a fixed thing every so often. Yes, you do. And you also have to every so often fix how straight it is. Because it kind of, the arm that I have it on is one of those monitor articulating arms, so it is sort of restricted in a certain sense. But what you do is this thing's actually got a mouse that you can invoke, and if I go over to the left hand side of the screen, it'll pop this up, and I can go over to the autofocus, and another little screen will come up, and it'll say, okay, and you can see where the internal lens of the camera is right now. So like I said, if we go closer, we'll see that range run out, right? Once it runs out, it won't focus anymore, right? Keep going here. It's focusing on that little square. At a certain point, it doesn't seem to want to go any further, even though it seems to have more range. Or I might just have to go slower. Yeah, it's still going. Okay, so we can see that. Anyways, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here. Let's back right up here again. Let it do its thing. Once it tracks onto where I want it to stop, like right there should be fine. All I have to do is go ahead and click manual, and then it stops. It stops trying to focus. So it'll just stay there now, right? Well, let's try one that's right out in the open here. Okay, so I'll just get down on the contacts here. And wiggle and jiggle. There we go. One. Tweezers make things so nice, especially I really like this set. I'm still kind of getting used to it because I don't use it a lot, but it's much easier to get little components off. Oh, that one hopped back into our life. Let's get those both off the board. Okay. Well, basically, you just have to line everything up here, as you can see me doing, making sure you get on both edges. The nice thing is you can really kind of hone in on this without affecting anything around you. And you just kind of, just wait for it, and off they come. It's super nice. And I will put the new ones on with the tweezers as well. Okay, so that took what, 10 minutes? Okay, I'm gonna shut the tweezers down here. The wick I'm using is the Towatt solder wick, 1.9H, 2.5 millimeters wide. Really like that solder wick actually. I've tried quite a few different types. And I'm just gonna knock my iron down a bit. My iron's usually set at 400. I just want to see how this will do at 380. I'm used to working on massive ground plane boards, so my iron is normally up quite high. Let's see. Yeah, that works. Yeah, everything looks flat. Good. Okay, we'll throw this back in here, and we'll get some cleaning underway, and it'll just go. So yeah, it's a pretty neat new tool that I've got. So hold on, got some flux on the chip. Let's get that off of there. Okay, so that's it for now, guys. I'm going to leave you at this, and when I come back, I will be putting new caps on this board, and we'll try and get this drive running again. Until next time, peace.